What's up, YouTube? This is Sean. I'm back. I didn't know if I was gonna come back, but I came back because this stuff is cool. This video, I wanna talk about some of the struggles that we might relate to as INFPs, and we're gonna talk about 5 of them. So since my first video, I changed the lightness of the room. It's kind of too light in here. My little buddy Wilson there, he recommended it. So doing things that are mundane, tasks that you just gotta do, chores, dishes, laundry, cleaning the house, things that any respectable human being will do because they don't want to live in filth. So for us, I don't have OCD in the house. I don't dust all the time. I have a lot of countertops that just have clutter, and there's things that can easily get put away, but they sit there. It's kind of like any kind of open counter space is reserved for buildup. And so from time to time, don't get me wrong, I put that stuff away, but it does sit there longer than most people probably would let. When it comes to these mundane tasks, we're kind of forward thinkers. We like to experience new things. Chores, dishes, things like that. We know the outcome from A to B, and then you have the outcome result. We like to innovate things. We like things that are, from square one. So just give me a blank piece of paper and I will come up with something. That's what we like to do. We're not always motivated to do it. Just doing the same thing over and over and over. For me personally, I'll do them because, it's nice to look around. You're not just sitting there with boxes piled up in the corner. So I do try to keep tidy, but again, it's something that I know the outcome's gonna be, and I'd rather not do it, So I think this one kind of piggybacks on the mundane tasks, and this is basically not being able to finish projects. Again, in my first video, the channel intro, I talked about getting excited with shiny things. Seeing something and just getting a huge drive, just overwhelming. You just basically go all in. Put so much emotion, so much energy. We drain ourselves very quickly. I think there might be a difference with the INFP A and INFP T. I'm the T, the turbulent type, opposed to the assertive. I've seen A's on YouTube videos that they might not have that competitive streak and just the perfectionist, idealistic tendencies that we might have. I think it might swarm around, I might be wrong, but I just know when I do find something that I'm just really, really excited about. Everything just falls into place with what I know and enjoy and like, and it's just something new. I will go all in. And with that comes a short burst of energy. So it might be a week, 2 weeks, a month. In reality, it's basically burnout. That drive to find the new interest, our brain can totally connect the dots, big picture, look through the forest. We can see at the end of that tunnel. And when we can do that, we kind of have done the process. It's exciting to build. And then all of a sudden you see the result. It's still far away. It still might be a week, 2 weeks, a month, a year away. But we essentially see it in our brain. We don't see it as an object on the table, but we do see it. And when we find that outcome and we've exhausted everything that we can kind of relate to it, then it kind of gets old, it gets dull, and there's not much excitement left. So then we're looking for that next punch. We crave that excitement. It's a new thing. It's not something we've done before. We want to get to the next thing that is something we've never done before. We start from scratch. I struggle with that one quite often. Being so open to where we are essentially the dumping ground for other people's problems. So this is a double-edged sword. We're kind of the mediators. We're the ones, the healers. Those are words that are written towards the INFP. I totally agree with that. I'm driven to people in despair. Like whoever it is, it might not even be someone I know. If somebody's hurting, I can easily put myself in their shoes just with some of the gifts that we're able to do. You can really just, kind of feel their pain. When you can do that, you can basically just get on their level and be a shoulder for them. And you could just relate, you can open it up, you can let them vent. Some of the people I think abuse it, and they know I'm gonna listen. I'm not gonna send people away and just be like, I don't have time for you. I'm going to put my stuff aside if someone really is upset, especially if it's a family member, a friend. It becomes the point where you're so open and you're so able to generate that healing capability. People will obviously supply and demand. I mean, they're going to come back, and we are going to reciprocate, and we're going to allow that. And it's not saying I don't want to help other people. It's just, it gets overwhelming. We obviously have our own issues with ourselves. We as INFPs have to process this on a daily basis, hourly. You know, it's like, and during our times of really peak, we've been extroverted for a long period of time, and when we have to recharge that battery, if we have a lot going on in that week or that day, we have to really dive deep and just process a lot of that. So when we start adding on, other people's issues, it's good because it gives us, that satisfaction that, okay, that person is a lot better. You really feel very, very good. You also have to process those things. You have to go in there and take somebody else's life and their problems, and you're gonna process a lot of it, as deep as you can go without knowing the full scope of the situation and all the details. You're gonna know a lot by how you open up and allow them to communicate during that venting time. You're gonna take that on with your own problems. We're gonna go through our heads and just pick it apart. Could I have done something better in this conversation? How are they feeling right now? We're losing sleep on things like this. Talking to the majority of society, these are rules that you should not do. You should not overthink things, they say. That's not happening with us because we think about everything, and that's not going away. But yeah, essentially the dumping ground, I don't believe it's gonna go away. We like to help people, and that's just one of the side effects with it. And then the fact that we're feelers, those conversations, they don't go away. We feel them deeply, and we just have to basically go through an emotional process of kind of putting it to bed, per se. Having a hard time with criticism. That one, I wish I could do better at. But since I can't, and it is one thing that I'm working on, obviously I do try to find out what is Sean quite often. It does fall into the INFP struggles. I really latch on to the negatives and try to improve them. This is one that I know criticism is there to help you, and I do take it, but it's a very stern wall that I have up. So you have to kind of climb that wall and get across it. And I will then, then I'll kind of entertain it some bit, but it's not gonna be easy. And I think the reason for this is whenever I put all-in effort into something, and I do that with a lot of things I do with my work, something that I, believe in, or, I strive to better myself, whatever it might be. Say a video, like for YouTube. For example, the very first, my channel intro video that I did, the one right before this, my brother, he's big into videography. He basically offered, he's an ESTJ, by the way. Sorry, Devin, but you're cool, you're cool. He's a very logical person. He's very efficient. He's a lot better than video than I am. This is his job, he's gone to school for this. So I'd be an idiot not to take his advice, but at the same token, my videos are something that I created. It's my viewpoint, it's my perspective. If someone puts their input in it, then it detracts away from what I feel is my product. Do you realize how much thought I put into that section of the video, and you're gonna sit there and say it's bad? And that's the thing, it's just for help. I mean, no matter what facet of life it is, someone's gonna criticize you, someone's gonna make a comment, and it's what you choose to do with it, if you let them in, or you just ultimately protect your piece of art that you've made. When we do this, we do limit ourselves. We do want to bring in different perspectives. It's gonna help you overall. This is something that I really just get defensive, and it's nothing. It's just someone coming with a soft tone, and hey, that's really great, but, and then right when I hear that but, I don't know why. I wish I can just accept it and let it come in. And I do know why. My perfectionist tendencies and the amount of energy and effort I put into it, and then someone's going to basically sum it all up in a 5-minute period. And that, to me, takes away. When you really step out of it and look at it, something that we as INFPs should work on, it elevates us to be better and make better art and just share things with other people. Not having enough alone time. For me, that's very important. We do extrovert quite often. Society kind of requires it to be successful. When we are out and about in this world, we do need time to recharge. That's social battery. So we can go out there, party it up, talk more than a lot of the talkers. It just depends on what the conversation is about. But if we don't get that alone time to recharge and kind of process everything that happened, we're basically just like really pent up and just edgy, I think. That's how I get. I can still function. There's more stress, snappiness. My fuse isn't as long. I'm getting to the point where I am getting pretty proficient with it. I'm able to process my thoughts, organize it all rather quickly instead of sitting on it for a week. Some things that are deeper than others do linger a bit. So when it comes to taking all that experiences that I gained from the extroversion, I can kind of funnel that into, okay, I'm good. My battery level might not be full, but it's 3/4. I can go back out and I can kind of, get back to it. I got some really good comments on the last video. Again, feel free to comment any advice, ideas that you might have. The channel's small, so I have not much of a life except work, and I'm always on the roads. I'm in hotels quite often. I have time to read those and also respond. It's very hard to find like-minded individuals, I find anyway. Reading some of the comments and being able to relate myself in this area, it's extremely cool to me. I'm gonna end this video with a quote. Again, I appreciate the support this early on. Until next time, I will see you guys later.